Hi Aries, this is Lost Twin Tarot. My name is Colette if you haven't viewed me before. Aries, this is a general reading for the week of March 11th through the 17th. Aries, just take the pieces that resonate and leave the rest. Um, Aries, when I was doing your kind of like a pre-shuffle and meditating on your cards, um, I was really getting the feeling like you're having a hard time adjusting to something, whether this is a different stage in your life that you could be kind of having a hard time dealing with. I feel like it's kind of like a big adjustment for you. I was getting the sense like you've been doing like you kind of maybe felt like you have um kind of done more, like you've sacrificed more. The hangman card was popping out a lot. Um, and so is the Empress card. I don't know if you're adjusting to almost maybe if you're maybe a new parent, whether you're a father or a mother or something like that. Um, but or maybe you're recently retired or something. I feel like it's almost like you feel like you've sacrificed a lot, it seemed like, and it's like you're not getting like what you want in return. Um, I was feeling like almost like I kept hearing like when during meditation, like you felt like you were trapped like rats. I kept hearing like we're trapped like rats. And I also kept seeing like I don't even know if it like a slip and slide. I don't know if you almost maybe you used to do that when you were younger and you're kind of missing that carefree just carefree, young, nostalgic type of feeling, whether this was not even something that you used to do, just kind of you're missing that kind of, you know, fun, carefree type of feelings. Um, I was kind of getting like that feeling, like it's almost like you're just having a difficult time, maybe just adjusting to something. Um, and you kind of just want that sort of feeling back was kind of what I was gathering. Um, The other thing I was hearing was it was something like, I miss that, I miss that, I miss that was the other thing. Let's see what we have coming in for you, Aries. We have the Three of Wands on the bottom, and then you have the Star on the bottom of the clarification deck. I know it's so hard, that writing is so tiny at the bottom there. And the Three of Wands can talk about, expansion. They could talk about also, something, you're trying to make things move. Three of Wands is at the end of, something being stagnant, like things are stagnant. You're trying to get them to move. It can also talk about the change of geography, like you're trying to get, you know, whether you're trying to like plan something, like you want to go somewhere, but you're just kind of like, you're trying to, it's the ending of something. Maybe you're trying to put plans into action. Two, three, four, six, okay. All right, Aries, you have the Five of Pentacles, the World, the Eight of Swords, the Justice card, the Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. Okay, you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Eight of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Devil. And we'll do some further clarifications for you, Aries. You have the Eight of Swords right next to each other, kind of like crisscross from each other, but they are kind of like touching. They're like right diagonally from each other. Um, Well, let's get started here for you. You have the Seven of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, and that was like kind of really fitting with what I was saying, at the beginning. It's almost like you feel like you've put a lot of work into something, with that Seven of Pentacles, and you're not seeing what you want. This can be, whether it's some work situation, money situation, or just, whether it's, love or just, an overall life situation. You could be feeling kind of like the week of the 11th, or just kind of maybe you're working your way up there. You could be feeling kind of like maybe you're kind of um maybe you're kind of just a little bit looking, and maybe you're feeling like kind of pouting you know, you're just like, this is not what I want. This isn't what I had pictured it. You know, on the Seven of Pentacles, but this one is kind of like you're kind of that rabbit's kind of laying there around all those pentacles. That's like everything he has. And I feel like it's almost like you're kind of having a feeling like, well, this is all I have. This is all I have to work for. It's almost like then you almost like a feeling like this is all I have to show for. But I feel like almost in a way you should be kind of coming into more of like a line of like more of like opening your eyes, because I feel like in the spread there's a lot more there than you kind of can see. With the world, you have the Eight of Pentacles. And what I feel like that's saying is that, the world can represent travel, and it can also represent an achievement. The Eight of Pentacles can represent work. It can also represent a project that you're working on or working towards. It can represent something that you're just, a reward that, that money is coming as well. You literally go from the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles, you know, and the world is that major arcana, the last one in the entire, in its entirety, and then you go start all over as the Fool again. I feel like in a way it's almost like, you start off feeling like you have almost like this is all I have to show for, and kind of feeling like you have left down the cold. You almost feel like you have nothing, but in a way you're realizing, you know, that you have so much more and you have achieved so much, and you do have a lot to, be almost like you have a lot to be thankful for. And you kind of have to take a look around sometimes and realize that, wait a minute, I do have so much more than other people, or you could feel like you have a lot more, whether this is money or whether this is wisdom or whether this is really anything. Aries, you have to be proud of yourself in more ways than you realize. You have the Eight of Swords and the Five of Cups. I think this is kind of like your, the combination that's kind of just your weak link out of everything. The Eight of Swords is, that's that self-imposed, restriction. And with the Five of Cups, I feel like that's kind of what's, pulling you in. That's what's weighing you down. This could be kind of like the memories of, the past. This could be something that you are, you know, the what ifs. Oh, I should have did it that way, and I could be here by now. I could have did this, or I shouldn't have did that. And that Eight of Swords, it keeps getting you trapped up in your head, and it's really, taking that, positive, happy, you know, driven, fiery Aries personality of yours, and it's taking it into that, the kind of aggressive personality that an Aries can be, because Aries are really great people, and they can be really the life of the party, and they're funny, and they can be really, they're great talkers and everything like that. But when they're at their, but when they're in their low point, they really can be, really, unhappy people. They can be, they can be almost really just, you can be in an unproductive place right now. You can be just really, not, being your best if you keep pulling back in that, in that energy. But the one good thing with that Eight of Swords, you have the Justice card coming in. And I feel like, this is kind of like your karma getting ready to serve you. The year 2024 is a year eight. Um, if you check your numerology chart and if you follow that and you are number eight, that could benefit you even more. But you know, the year 2024 is all about the number eight. And even though the Justice card isn't the number eight card, this year is all about, you know, um, what you've put out in the past years, whether you have been a good person or what you have endured, you're going to be rewarded for that. Pretty much if you've endured a lot of pain and everything, and if you've been able to handle that, if you've had strength and endurance, the universe is rewarding you. And I feel like you are going to be rewarded, whether you think so. You're getting the Ten of Cups and the Six of Swords. The Ten of Cups represents that calm after the storm, and then you have the Six of Swords coming out with it. And Aries, you have to kind of think of, the Six of Swords, it's all about, they're going across that water, and that water is not supposed to be, perfectly calm. This can be represent, a rocky the rocky water that was, that they're crossing. And I feel like you're kind of seeing that, there is, a rainbow that's coming in for you. That rainbow is kind of, going to be after that storm. But this wasn't always a, you know, smooth water that you have been crossing. I feel like in a way sometimes, you kind of possibly could be maybe that Eight of Swords, you could be kind of pessimistic in a way. I mean, we all get that way. It's hard not to be sometimes in the way we um sometimes the way we're conditioned, or just in society in general, it's a hard time to live in right now, but I feel like, things are getting balanced out for you. Um and I feel like, if your attitude can be changing as well. I feel like you'll start seeing that. You have the Two of Cups and the Devil. We'll do some further clarifications. You could be getting involved with a Capricorn. Um, or this could also be, um, something about your higher self. Your higher self this could be the issue to you're trying to find your higher self, you're trying to find kind of, maybe you're kind of like that missing piece to the puzzle, Aries. Maybe um, kind of like that piece that kind of really, um, possibly kind of sets you on your way, kind of gives you your zest for life back, kind of just gives you that little bit of drive. And I feel like what's maybe pulling you down is whatever this devil energy is, whatever that it's a shadow. So I feel like it has to do with the Eight of Swords. What is the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles for Aries? Okay, you have the Page of Cups on the bottom, but you have the Hierophant. Yeah, and I feel like this could have to do with the Hierophant can have to do with it could have to do with the way things have always, you know, been. It has to do with tradition. This can have to do with possibly maybe a marriage for some of you. This could have to do with possibly maybe um possibly your work, maybe school or something that you're kind of breaking away from. This could have to do, something like that where you feel like you've just put in a lot of time and effort into something and you've dedicated, your time to this. This could also possibly for some of you have to do with maybe a religion as well. Maybe you put in a lot of time and effort into something and maybe you feel like you're possibly being turned away. Um the Five of Pentacles, they are outside that church on there. So maybe you feel like maybe a religious aspect is kind of turning you away um for maybe a portion of you. This could also be that you're receiving help from a church as well. Um, you're turning to a church and they are helping you out. You could be receiving help in a way, or you're receiving guidance. The Page of Cups is there, which represents, almost like an offering is coming in for you. What's the Eight of Pentacles and the World? You have the Seven of Cups and you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, and I feel like with that, that Seven of Cups on the bottom and the, Five of Swords, I feel like what this is, saying is that, you're trying to make the best choices, in life. And I feel like with the Five of Swords, sometimes you kind of beat yourself up in a way. I feel like you beat yourself up about things about, the choices, you've made, and there's no going back. But Aries, I feel like honestly, there's nothing we can do about the choices we made. And we only go by, our instinct, our intuition. Um, and there's really, we make the choices based on how we feel at the time. And if you're a good person, making those choices based on what you think is right. So there's nothing that you have done wrong. There's nothing that you've done, that you have done based on, out of, out of, maliciousness or anything like that. Um, and I feel like sometimes you feel like you almost sort of feel like you could have done things different sometimes or planned things different. But I feel like you keep this almost to yourself. Um, but there's nothing you could have did, differently. I feel like you did everything that you could to make things as good as they've been to the best of your ability. And I feel like you did it for all the right reasons. You have the Temperance card on the bottom with the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords. And coming out with that, you have the Eight of Wands and the King of Wands. Yeah, and that King of Wands, that definitely can represent you. And Eight of Wands, represents, quick actions. It represents doing something now. It represents good news and good, energy coming in. Good news, good energy, fast energy. This also represents quick success. I feel like this is telling you, with Temperance, this is all about you know, things are, time is time for you to be rewarded. You've been patient. You have been not indulgent in ways that you didn't need to, that you didn't need to be. I think I'm saying that right. But you haven't been doing things the wrong way. You have been doing things the right way. And now it's time for you to be a leader as well with that King of Wands. It's time for you to take control. Um, of the situation. It's time for you to take control of your mind. It's time for you to take control of your mind and almost take control of your own your ego. And what I mean by that is almost just take control of the way of how you're feeling on an emotional level. I mean, Aries tend to be they're emotional, but they're almost more of a hmm, they're not like mushy, I guess, compared to some of the water signs. And I feel like that's kind of what it's saying here. With the Eight of Swords and the Justice card, you have the High Priestess on the bottom, and you have the Hangman. And I remember doing your pre-shuffle, I said that the Hangman was popping out. The funny thing is that you know, the Hangman and the Eight of Swords with the Justice, this can represent, like I said, you feeling like you sacrificed a lot. You feeling like you've been doing these sacrifices all your life, and what's coming out of it. But I feel like what this is saying is that, with that High Priestess, the High Priestess represents, sacred knowledge. That represents, the subconscious. And I feel like in a way, you're gaining something with that Eight of Swords. You're almost going to be gaining something that you don't realize. The High Priestess can represent something that's, hidden behind. It's what remains to be seen yet. And I feel like you're going to be realizing these sacrifices that you've made over this time. It's going to pay off in a way that's it was all meant to be this way with the Justice card. All these things that you've done has leading up to this point, and all the things that you were supposed to do, meant to do, planned your life this way. They were all supposed to happen for this reason. And sometimes you feel like, well, you know, I don't, is it all about money? Well, no, it's not all about money. You know, the high priest is all like I said, it's about that sacred knowledge. It's all about that wisdom. And sometimes that wisdom is really what builds, your character. And your character is what takes you to those places where you really want to go. That's where you want to build your life off of. You have to have, you know, pain to have wisdom, to have character, to have a story, to be able to, make a life for yourself. What's the Six of Swords and the Ten of Cups? I'll take them both. What's the king of you have the king of pentacles on the bottom, so another great card of stability and just building a great foundation. That's with the six of swords and the 10 of cups, and you have the 10 of pentacles with the ace of pentacles. So I feel like, something really great is coming in for you, Aries. I feel like this is headed in the right direction. I feel like a turnaround's coming for you. A turnaround's coming in for you. I don't feel like you expect it either. I feel like something's coming in and you're not expecting it. What's the devil and the two of cups? You have the fool on the bottom, and that's definitely has Aries energy in it too. That's that young, carefree energy. And you have that with the Queen of Cups. I feel like the Queen of Cups came out with your last reading as well. This is with the Two of Cups and the Devil. I feel like, with that saying is that you could be, if this is a new relationship, this could be with a water sign. And I feel like that's definitely, you know, that could be something with the devil. This could be, something that you could be having a hard time with. If this is not with a relationship, this could definitely be with your higher self. Like I was saying, that you need to make sure you nurture yourself with your emotions. Um, and really, just nurture yourself and don't let that shadow come in with that devil energy. Um, take that, you know, that balance, that energy, that nurturing of that energy, and remember, how your journey has been over this time, and know that better things are, really coming in for you. This reading looks really good for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And definitely enjoy your week, and I hope to see you real soon. Thanks. Bye.